Ooh. Oh, claws are out. Big fluff. Bye.
Right, I'll see this one.
Bye bye poo poo. Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books, and you've joined me today on my April haul. So far I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 books that I've received in the month of April. Very, very excited about all of them. Very excited about all of them. And also, I feel like this is probably the most beautiful amount of books that I've received in one period. All of the front covers are completely beauteous. So that's an added bonus, as well as me and this beautiful array of plants behind me and this jumper with a smiley face with a banana on it. You get some beautiful front covers as well, so very, very nice. So I'll start with one that I didn't know was coming. It just arrived in the post from Europa, and this is Disoriental by Negar Javadi. And Europa published a lot of translated fiction, and I did not know this one was coming, and this is translated from French, and it says here, Kimia Sadra fled Iran with her mother and sisters at the age of 10 to join her father in France. Now in her 20s, sitting in a fertility clinic in Paris as she awaits life-changing news, Kimia is inundated by memories of her ancestors, reminiscents and family myths that reach her in unstoppable waves. Generations of flamboyant Sadras return to her, including her formidable great-grandfather, Montezel Molmolk, with his harem of 52 wives, and her distracted but ardent parents, Sarah and Darius, stalwart opponents of each other's political regime that has befallen them. So yeah, I mean, I didn't know this was coming. This is beautiful as well. Look at the purple, and then it's got this, I believe, like a phoenix or something in different patterns and things. Yeah, so I feel like this is really interesting, and I would like to read this at some point. And I haven't read any translated fiction this year, which is shocking, so I need to do something about that. The next one I've got came from Hotkey Books, and it got sent with it a feather, which has obviously got something to do with this book. There's quite a few feathers all over the front cover. This is a really, really pretty front cover. It's got a woman here with wings, and it's called The Electrical Kiss by Julie Mayhew. What I really like about Hotkey Books is that they have this little key on the back. If I just zoom in on that, you'll be able to see. And it's got a little circle, and then it tells you what's in it. So it says, love, electricity, travelling fair and enlightenment, and it gives a little sort of pie chart of how much of each thing is in there. So I just feel like it's a really nice, if you wanted a quick sort of, oh, what will I like this book, to have that on the back. I just think that's a really nice little touch. But anyway, what is actually in this book? So this is about a girl, Mim, who joins a fair, and a chap called Dr. Fox joins I believe it's like a travelling circus or something, and he joins and makes her, puts her as top billing as the electrical Venus, and she is a woman who, when she kisses men, she can give them an electric shock, and they pay a penny and she becomes very, very popular. And yeah, so I just feel like that's very, very interesting, and it just looks beautiful. And feather, Minnie's gonna enjoy that feather shortly, so that is another one. This one is another absolutely beautiful one. I'm going to stop saying they're absolutely beautiful because they all are. This is Bookworm, by Lucy Mangan. It's a memoir of childhood reading. I've shown this in my Book Buddy-a-thon TBR video because it was my most recent book that I'd received, and I'm reading it for the new prompt of my Book Buddy-a-thon. This is a memoir, as it says on the tin, a memoir of childhood reading, which I just feel so pumped and excited about. I was an avid bookworm when I was younger, and I was forever down the library and forever reading. Always had my nose in a book, so it'll be nice to revisit some of the things that I read when I was younger. And this front cover, look, if you look at it, it's a tree, and within the tree it's got loads and loads of little like hints towards some of the books that will be discussed here. And then on the back it's different as well. Paint, a teapot, a trombone, some chocolate, a pie, a bird, a school tie, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to reminiscing about my childhood reading as well. I just feel like this is a really, really nice idea, and I'll be reading that this week. The next one is one that I actually received last month, but I completely forgot about it when I was hauling. It was when I tidied my books away, I was like, oh, I didn't show that. This is published by Granta, and it's All the Devils Are Here by David Seabrook, and that front that front cover, that is Margate. Now, you may well have seen Margate on this channel before. It is a seaside resort in the southeast of England, in Kent, which is where David and I live. We don't live in Margate, but we live in Kent. And this is a memoir and a sort of study of British history of that place, done in quite a dark and delicious, I believe, way. So it says here, 20 years ago, in a series of mysterious incandescent writings, David Seabrook described the places he knew best, the declining resort towns of the Kent coast. And they really were they've only just started putting money back into them. So for a while, they've always been sort of like cheap and cheerful, but for the last sort of 10 years, they have not been very cheerful. It says, the result was no advert for the local tourist board. Hell was empty and all the devils were here. The ghost of murderers and mad artists crawled the streets. Septuagenarian rent boys recalled the good old days. Carry-on stars went to seed while clandestine fascist networks emerged, and all the time there was Seabrook himself, desperate perhaps and in danger. So yeah, it is a sort of reminiscence on the declining resort towns of Kent, and I'll be interested to see what he has to say about it. It's also got some pictures in throughout as well. So yeah, interesting, very interesting. I'll see how I feel about this, but again, another beautiful one. Look at that, lovely. The next one is one that David bought me for Easter. So this year, I'm not a big chocolate lover anyway. So when David asked me if I wanted an Easter egg, I said no, buy me a book, and I gave him a list of books that I had my eye on. And he bought me this, which is Disobedience by Naomi Alderman. This is a new release of this cover. This is a book that was published a long time ago. How long ago? 2006. So Naomi Alderman wrote The Power, which won the Women's Prize for Fiction last year, and this is Disobedience, which has just been made into a film with Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams in, and it tells the story of Ronit. Her father is a respected rabbi, and he dies, and she returns home to mourn his death and to go to the funeral, etc., and sort of meets up with her childhood girlfriend Esty, who's played by, so Rachel Weisz plays Ronit in the film, and Rachel McAdams plays Esty, and it looks to be fair, the film is what drew me to this book. The trailer looks like it's going to be really like dark and gritty, yeah, and then I thought, well, I would love to read the book before I go to see the film. I'm not sure when the film's out. I will link the trailer down below, but yeah, I just love these front covers. I feel like they're really great. The Power is in red. I mean, you must have seen it, it's here, and then this one's just been linked. So when I said to David this was one of the books I wanted, I was like, make sure you get this front cover though, because I really like it and I think it will go really nice next to The Power. So yeah, looking forward to reading this, and I'm hoping to read this before the film comes out, because I'd love to see the film too. And then the last three have been sent to me from Picador. The first one is one that I absolutely must read, and I feel like I'm going to read this next month. This is Going to Hurt, Secret Diaries of a Junior Doctor by Adam Kay. Now, I work for the NHS, and I deal with junior doctors on a daily basis, and so many people have said to me, have you read this, have you read this? And I haven't, and it's disgusting that I haven't, because I absolutely should. I knew this was a diary of a junior doctor, and I thought it would be really sort of hard hitting the whole way through, difficult reading, particularly for someone who knows how tight and stretched things are in the NHS. But a few of the actual comments here, for example, Joe Lycett says, this is incredibly funny. It's so funny, in fact, that it gave me a hernia from laughing. Jill Mansell says, what a hilarious, stomach-churning, thought-provoking heartbreaker of a book. I loved every single page. So I feel like this is going to be funny as well as informative and sort of revealing, I guess. So yeah, so I'll be reading that really shortly, and this will be very, very important. The last two they've sent me both are beautiful. Now, I know I've been going on about how beautiful these all are, but this is The Long Forgotten by David Whitehouse, and it comes with, they sent me this with this lovely ribbon around it, so I'm just going to take the ribbon off so you can get a full view of how beautiful this is. And this has got all these flowers on, and then actually there's an outline of a whale. You might be able to see it. It's the shiny part of it. I don't know the technical terms for these things, but the shiny part of it is a whale. And then within that, I've also got this beautiful postcard, which I feel like is gorgeous. As you may know, I've become a little bit obsessed with plants in my last sort of 2 weeks of my life. So that is either going in a frame or being propped up somewhere. And then within it, there's also a dried flower. And it says here, I don't know if this is what it is, but it says the Gibraltar campion, sheep-eating plant, capuldo flower, the living fossil, the udumbara, the beach flower. Every last one of them is emblematic of our love. You and I are the sum of them. And that's actually, someone's been and handwritten all that on there. So that's lovely. But this is, I will read to you what this is about, because this is, it sounds very intriguing. When the black box recorder of a plane that went missing 30 years ago is recovered from the bottom of the sea, a young man named Dove begins to remember a past that isn't his. His memories belong to a rare flower hunter in 1980s New York, whose search led him around the world and ended in tragedy. Restless and lonely in a present-day London, Dove is quickly consumed by the memories, which might just hold the key to the mystery of his own identity and the truth of what happened to the lost passengers on that doomed flight, the long forgotten. So you wouldn't get that, would you, from this front cover? You wouldn't think, oh, that's going to be about a flight, a lost flight. So very intrigued to read that, and I just feel like it's beautifully packaged together. So well done, Picador peeps, well done indeed. So that, pop that little ribbon back on there. And then this last one, which I think might be the most beautiful one of all, and that's Ponti by Shailene Teo, which is just absolutely gorgeous. It's got what I believe to be a snake, but I can't be sure. And all the scales on it, and then behind that you can see like a cityscape in these blue bits, and they've got some gorgeous leaves here. This is about female friendship. It is about two girls that meet in Singapore in 2003. Suzu is 16, and she meets a friend, Cersei, and they develop an intense friendship, and then you go back to them 17, and then you travel forward 17 years, and you sort of see how they're still friends and how they're still supporting each other. So Cersei's struggling through a divorce in the fraught and ever-changing Singapore, and yeah, it's just I just feel like it'll be really great. And I love books about well, obviously I love books with females in, but female friendship is a very exciting book. It's a very exciting theme I like to read about in books. And actually, I haven't even read it yet, but coinciding with this, Jill from the Bookish Reader, she's just done a video on female friendship in books, and I'm very much looking forward to reading that, so I will link that video down below. I haven't even watched it yet, so I'm sure it'll be good. I'll link that down below, so if you're interested in reading a few more books about female friendship, then definitely go there. So yeah, those are the books that I've got my hands on so far in April. I'll hold them up. This is always the moment, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful, the lot of them. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you're excited about any of these books. These are all sort of like coming out in the next, or I don't feel like any of the, oh, this one's an older one, but I feel like these are all sort of new titles, so things to be excited about as well. So that's it from me, and I'll see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye.